Tracy? Driven by the will to succeed, bolstered by a complete tool set that encompasses physical prowess, expertise in several areas, and a vivacious personality, the next inductee is a native of Portage who first came to Western as an athlete. She soon expanded that title to student athlete and began to work on academic degrees to support her professional success. She completed an undergraduate degree in exercise science, followed by a Master of Arts in Sports Administration. For several years here in Michigan, she taught at WMU, KVCC, and Kellogg Community College. She was also a successful coach with stints at Portage Northern High School, Kalamazoo College, and Kellogg Community College. When she relocated to Florida, which today looks pretty good, her career expanded to new heights and offered new challenges. Currently the chair of the Department of Palm Beach State College, she has evolved to the consummate advocate for healthy, active lifestyles, a master negotiator, and a leader in the provision of effective educational programs. In addition to her role as department chair, she's president of the Palm Beach State chapter of the Association of Florida Colleges, serves as the chief negotiator and steward of the United Faculty of Florida, and in her spare time, she's a fun-loving mom of 4 and owns her own realty business. Dedicated to success in all of her venues, she looks for positive attributes in everyone she meets and demonstrates a can-do attitude regardless of the situation. Congratulations, Tracy Sleesh, 2018 inductee.
Well, I don't know if it's these great speeches are my menopause, but I've been verklempt all morning listening to these sentences. It has been incredible. And I want to begin with thanking the committee for your dedication to this award. It is truly humbling to be inducted into a group of 124 people that I always thought when I was sitting in the back of the room years ago that I would aspire to be. And it wasn't an easy road to get here. And I would be remiss if I didn't immediately thank Dr. Berkey for her dedication to me. When I say dedication to me, she said I started here as an athlete, became a student athlete. Over the long 8 years it took me to graduate, fun 8 years, my team can attest, our time here, it was because of fierce and powerful women that came before me that reached down and grabbed my hand and said, "You will be next." Whether I knew it or not, that was happening. They knew it. You knew it. You knew it. You all knew that. I didn't know yet. I try to do that with my professors, young professors, and my students. And that really was such a role model for me. The professionalism in the department aside, seeing powerful leadership in these women was really what ultimately lifted me up. And when I think about how far that's come, Dr. Berkey made a statement when she had nominated me for the award. She said, "You were one of my greatest returns on investments." And I think she meant that she was proud of what I had done, but I knew she really meant that was a lot of investment. And after that, my first teaching job as a professor was in one of the state prisons here in Michigan. And I remember my mom saying, "I always thought you'd be in a prison." And my sister just said that this morning as well. So when I think about the long journey that was getting here, it certainly was something that I feel as if I have an understanding and an empathy for my amazing students and for the people that surround me and how to be able to try to lift them up. I learned professionalism, leadership, advocacy, and true pride in our profession and work. Don't ever forget that all of those students in here, you will be defending your programs as long as they exist at every place that you go, and never lose sight of that. We were taught that early on, so you are prepared. As a professor, of course, speaking to the students, at 43, I look back and think to myself, I wish that I had known I was bold at 23. Don't wait till you're 40 to be bold. Don't feel like a fraud when you're in the room. You are not. You have been trained and are prepared for that moment. And I think that's the message, that's the most important thing that you can take from this program, and that's what I learned. When I look at the places that I've gone in my life and the things that I've enjoyed, it's all because of these programs. And I can't thank the committee enough, I can't thank the professors enough, and I'm in truly incredible company. I know most of these inductees up here today, and to see their names and be included with them is ridiculous, really. And it really is truly a prideful moment for me. I have a village, as Dr. Berkey mentioned, I have 4 kids, so I created my own village. But I also have a large village to take and be able to do this Life of Tracy. And in order to be able to do that, it takes a lot of people. My village is Italian, luckily, so we're used to that. And my parents couldn't be here this weekend because they're taking care of my village and enjoying them as much as they're continuing to FaceTime me, and Grandma looks a little frazzled. They're doing well. When I kid that it took me 8 years for my first degree, the next ones went quickly. But that first one took a long time. My mother drove me to school every day. I know that sounds insane. We lived on campus with my sister, and because I would skip too many classes, and my mom was paying for it, she would pick my ass up and drive me. And then she would wait out front and take me to my next class, take me to practice, and bring me home. So when I say that it took a lot of people to throw me across the finish line, that was no small endeavor. My sisters have always been the most incredible support I could possibly have, and true role models. My sister Christina is a professional engineer and an analyst, and my sister's a veterinarian. And I look up and think, how did this happen? I always knew it would happen for them, I just didn't know I'd get pulled too. When I think about the friends that I've got, I don't have friends. We're Italian, so we have family. And I just love and think about all the people. I came through all of these programs with Kim Henrian, Dr. Kim Henrian, as a peer and a person to be able to look to. My sister-in-law, one of my very best friends, Adam, who was also a Bronco, proud soccer Bronco, and my husband, Eric. It's hard to follow some of these speeches about husbands and wives here, so I hope you're not expecting me too deep. If I were to jokingly say Eric is my right-hand man, I don't think people could fully estimate what that means. To be my right-hand man means you have to be everything. You have to do everything. And you have to be able to pick up where I'm just letting the pieces fall because it's important, or because I'm going to be in Tallahassee fighting for legislation, for education, or I'm going to be gone doing this because I believe in it. And he has never once said you shouldn't do that. He has always stood back and cheered from the side and said not only should you do that, but you're going to be great at it. So I'm forever grateful to my husband and my family, to the department, and thank you again, Dr. Berkey. Thank you.